Hi, this is Shui with a review of the Zoom Freak 1. Why Zoom Freak 1 all of a sudden when we're all talking about the Zoom Freak 2 and what other exciting colorways they might release? Well, first of all, more NBA players are wearing the Zoom Freak 1s than 2s. Not because they can't afford the Zoom Freak 2s, but I guess many people prefer this. Personally, I've tried the Zoom Freak 2s and I feel this is a better performer overall. And it's baffling. The second one doesn't look as unique. It doesn't seem to tell any special story. It doesn't seem to scream Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's a long name, and it's not screaming that. It's got that swoosh that's ordinary. It's got supposedly a zoom back at the forefoot, but you can't really feel it. It's got nothing in the heel, but they say it's the foam cushioning has been improved and enhanced. It's soft, but it's not soft at all. Of the other signature shoes out there with nothing in the heel, with just some rough foam material that doesn't seem to compress, Kyrie 6 comes to mind. It's as bad, if not worse, than the Kyrie 6 heel cushioning. So that's something you might want to consider before getting the Zoom Freak 2s. I hope they maybe come up with an elite version of the Zoom Freak 2 with some cushioning or some improvements on the heel material or the foam material they use in the heel. So anyway, the Zoom Freak 1 seems like hotly sought after because, first of all, it is the first signature of a player that's going to be legendary, who's going to be the face of the franchise and the face of the NBA, or maybe he's already halfway there. So the first one is always important. And interestingly, among the Zoom Freak 1s out there, they have 3 that tells the story of his favorite movie, Coming to America, starring Eddie Murphy. First of all, before I talk about the elements that's from the movie, Zoom Freak 1s, they're good. Their outstanding feature is that the outrigger is really out there, and usually the outrigger is just there and the outsole, and sometimes it pokes into the midsole and it flexes. But this one, they did the outrigger right by having this rubber material all the way stretching here. It wraps the midsole and it just goes all the way there, so it's rigid and it's more resistant. This is the way outriggers should be, something that Peak Underground has done successfully, and sometimes many brands seems to forget that this is the way outriggers should be. So yeah, take a cue from this Zoom Freak 1 outrigger. I love the swoosh. It's not just for form but for function. This huge little foam provides an extra support when you're cutting hard, so you won't be spraining your ankle. So that's good. Extra little cup or a helping hand to provide that security to prevent you from rolling your ankles or spraining your ankles. And the thing about the Zoom Freak 1 is, well, I also like this 34 flipping around, and it's the Greek national flag or something similar to the Greek national flag. And the cushioning, let's talk about it. The double stacked zoom air in the heel. It doesn't feel like it's double stacked, but you can feel there's a good amount of cushioning in the heel. It's decent. It's decent. I would say comparable to Kobe 4s. Kobe 4, if you talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of his first shoes apparently is an old Zoom Kobe 4 that his brother kind of discarded his way, or maybe he begged his brother to give it to him. So the Zoom Kobe 4 has a special place in Giannis's heart, and you could see him wearing the Kobe 80 Exodus in the playoffs instead of the Zoom Freak 1s, even when they had the Zoom Freak 1 ready, because he loved that Kobe aesthetics and cushioning setup so much. Kobe 4s, they have good heel cushioning, and on the forefoot, depending on what kind of Lunarlon you get, sometimes you get one that's soft. Sometimes the Lunarlon is not, I guess, soft enough or maybe large enough. It's a bit of a coin toss, the Kobe 4s. I've had a dozen Kobe 4s, and that's the conclusion I made. Even if you get the same colorway, you get 3 Kobe 4s. I guess they had some quality control back in the 2000, back in the late 2000s. So that's the problem I had with the Kobe 4s. And forefoot is a bit rigid. The foam itself is kind of soft, but it feels like maybe they should have made it even softer on the forefoot, or they should have given a thicker insole. They just have a standard ortholon insole, but I say this shoe, for this shoe, if you're actually thinking about hooping in them, get a thicker polyurethane insole or something that's a little bit extra special that provides some added cushioning for the shoe. And you don't worry about your foot getting squeezed in too tight because of the extra layer of a thicker insole, because you do have to go up at least half a size or a whole size. It's really narrow, and the toe box is, even if it's really narrow, if you go up the size, because the toe box is not crazy high up, it fits nicely. And also these little fly wire type of mechanisms here, I mean, it's leather, but it's supposed to work like fly wires. They provide that extra grip and lockdown. So even if you oversize it a little bit, you can get that additional lockdown feeling here. So the forefoot cushioning, it feels a lot like the first Kobe AD. If you try those shoes, it feels pretty rigid on the forefoot. Once you wear out the thick ortholite insole, it feels like there's really not much on the forefoot. But many players like that shoe because it felt low to the ground and it had a decent heel cushioning. So if you like the Kobe ADs or the Kobe 4s, which sometimes you don't really get the full throttle sensation of a decent lunar lawn on the forefoot, yeah, this is a shoe for you. For me, I really need to get some really soft insoles if I want to play in these shoes. Otherwise, I get blisters on my forefoot. Still, it's just as soft as the Freak 2s. I mean, I guess the Zoom Freak 2s is a little bit better because of that little bit of compression on the of the Zoom, but it's super thin, and this is not that far from the Zoom Freak 2s in terms of forefoot. And again, Zoom Freak 2s have nothing in the heel, but this actually has Zoom Air and soft. I guess it is a softer foam than the Zoom Freak 2s. It works in tandem nicely. It's got a nice little ride to the forefoot and a nice little impact protection, and it feels soft when you're slowly compressing your body weight onto your heels and moving or propelling yourself forward. So that's good. So the Coming to America's colorway for this one, it's right on the poster of the movie Coming to America starring Eddie Murphy. It's Prince Akeem. And that's what Giannis Antetokounmpo said when he's talking about his favorite movie. Yes, it's the Prince Akeem movie. So they did a little research and found that the title is actually Coming to America. Personally, it's one of my favorite movies from the 80s. I can't get enough of it. It's one of those movies you could watch over and over again, or if it's on TV, you got to stop and just watch it. It's so good. Eddie Murphy in his prime. Eddie Murphy plays close to a dozen different roles, including a person of different ethnicity, so different age and different ethnicity, so that's different profession as well. So it's really a lot of fun. Arsenio Hall is in it. They both play multiple characters, and you can really, and for some of the characters, you can't really tell if that's really Eddie Murphy, and you won't believe it even if someone validates you that that is Eddie Murphy. So anyway, this is sort of like what Prince Akeem is wearing as he's arriving in America to find his queen, because he doesn't want an arranged marriage, so he secretly wants to be in the States to meet someone that can appreciate and like him for who he is, not because of what he is, which is a prince and a king to be. So a lot of gold accessories and some leopard stripes or some kind of dead animal around him, and this little black suede type of hat is the outfit that Prince Akeem was wearing. So this is it, and of course the poster, the title on the poster reads "Coming to America" in gold. So yeah. Nice. I love the colorway. I think this is the best Zoom Freak 1 colorway. So the Coming to America versions, they have 3 versions. First is the Coming to America Akeem's outfit or the poster look. And another one is Soul Glow. Soul Glow is the this hair product that Prince Akeem's rival in love. He meets someone special that he wants to get to know better in the States, but he has a rival, as in that lady already has a boyfriend who happens to be the heir to this explosively successful business called the Soul Glow hair product. So they keep showing this ad with really over-exaggerated scenes and there's I guess the theme song at the background, right? Just let your soul glow. So what they do is Eric LaSalle plays that man, the heir to Soul Glow throne. He has this really huge curly afro type of hair, and he has to spray it. His whole family has this hairstyle, and they keep spraying Soul Glow on it. So every time they get up at the back of the seat, wherever their head was resting, there's this, remnants of this liquid just slowly smudging and sliding down when they leave their seats. Everyone in the family, because they love the Soul Glow. So that Soul Glow colorway is out. And another one is Employee of the Month. The Eddie Murphy character, Prince Akeem, gets a job in McDowell's because the the lady that he is interested in, she is actually the daughter of a businessman who owns a McDonald's ripoff called McDowell's, because his surname is McDowell's, and he says, we don't have the golden arches, we have the golden arcs. So he keeps saying it's different, but there's a lot of similar elements to McDonald's, like we don't have sesame seeds on our bun, and it's called the Big Meek, not the Big Mac. The father has this a McDonald's ripoff business, so the uniform is a lot similar to the McDonald's uniform they've had in the late 80s. So Akeem goes there to get a job, to get to know the father better, and also get to know the girl better, and also to try and really immerse himself into the American culture of blue-collar workers, I guess. So what happens is a robber shows up, and he says, this is a stick-up, empty the cash register. And that person happens to be played by Samuel L. Jackson, who is supposed to be several decades younger, but he doesn't look a day older than what you see as Nick Fury of the Avengers today in 2019 or 2020. Anyway, so Akeem, Eddie Murphy, is of course trained in various martial arts as well. So he's trying to cool or calm him down, but while doing that, he just sweep the leg and completely overpowers him. So he got the situation under control. So he gets to become Employee of the Month wearing that McDonald-like uniform. So the freak one, the Zoom freak one with the Employee of the Month label has that McDowell uniform look around it. I mean, it doesn't look fancy, but it's kind of fun if you know the history or the story behind it. So good job, Nike, with the Zoom freak ones. I do wish you had a little bit more on the forefoot. Maybe take out one of the Zoom bags and put it on the heel, put it on the forefoot. Hopefully you'll do that with the Zoom Freak 3s or the Zoom Freak 2 Elites. Give it a little bit more zoom, or maybe use a Reactor or Super Bubbly Cushlon or Lunar or anything. Just don't give us rigid foam.